Hey everyone, hope everyone is doing well. So I got a Genshin Impact video for you guys here, and it's about Emilie, the last character coming to Genshin Impact in patch 4.8 of Fontaine, and then we will be going on to Natlan. So I know there's a lot of people that think that this unit is mid, and maybe she is, but I feel like what people are saying about her isn't like 100% accurate until you use the unit yourself. Now, I ain't gonna go through the entire kit. You see, everybody right now is saying that this unit is a strict burn enabler. And while yes, she is, I really think that this unit might actually be a solid main, well, not a main damage dealer, but wait, I just thought about a comp that you could use as a main damage dealer, which might be good. So yes, maybe if what I think in my head will work, somebody will have to try it out because I'm not sure if I'm going to be pulling until the Pyro Archon. So first of all, this unit scales off crit damage and her weapon scales off crit rate. And I really think that this weapon plays a big part for her. It's not that you need it, but it's going to actually increase a good chunk of damage, especially if you're using her off field. But she scales off crit damage, and I ain't gonna go through all these details, bro. You got Ziox, you got I Win to Lose, all those Hoyo creators to look at a full review. I just want to tell you that after looking at these percentages here and looking at her passive somewhere here, it seems like this unit will be dishing out a fair amount of damage. Maybe not the best, but it will be good because it looks like she has a very short duration that her burst will stay up and how much time this drops will hit the enemies. But I feel like for that little duration, it might actually be a good amount of damage. Although she isn't a support unit, and although Nahida isn't a damage dealer, I think that what Emilie brings to the table is a more offensive or feel, or maybe main DPS, depending on if you want to use her the way that I'm thinking. I feel like she's a more offensive Denjo or feel unit. So when I'm looking at this percentage here, you could see at talent level 9. I'm going to look at talent level 10. Talent level 9, it has 369.24%. And the way that you're going to be building Emilie is as a strict DPS, meaning that for the Sands, you're going to use attack. For the Goblet, you're going to use Denjo or maybe attack, depending on how you want to build it. And for the Circlet, you're going to be using either a crit rate or a crit damage. And if you're going for her weapon scales up to about 33% crit rate. So I believe that you might have a build around, let's say, a minimum 70% crit rate and about 220 crit damage. Now, when you take all of those things, right, and you introduce this percentage, it may not be the biggest, but you have to remember that this unit will be used for off-field. This is going to actually do a good chunk of damage. Now, I'm not a Terry crafter, but after a certain while of playing Genshin and building a lot of DPS, you get an idea or a rough estimate to how much a unit might actually be doing. So without any buffs, just by herself, I really think that this unit, with her burst, I feel like the skill might do around 10 to 20k, right, per hit. But I feel like this burst here might hit about, if I have to guess, about 20 to 50k maximum. 50k might be with buffs and stuff. Maybe you could push it up with, like, if you have like C2 Nahida, maybe a C6 Furina, you might be able to push this damage up to like maybe 80k, 100k. I wouldn't doubt it, bro. Because these numbers are actually pretty good for a Denjo or field unit. Now, her passive here says that It increases burning based on the attack. With every 1000 attack, increases the damage dealt by 15%. You get a maximum of 36%. Now, if you don't know how burning works, that thing ticks a lot, like really, really fast. So imagine doing like 3k to 5k burning on an enemy, and that just pop, 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 just ticking like that. You have to take into consideration that it's like a DOT, but it ticks very fast. So you may not see the big number per second, but that thing will add up to be a lot in the long run. Her passive says that she increases pyro resistance, wherever. Each time it collects 2 cents, the level 2 Luminous case will consume cents and release clear dew. And you see this is a 600% damage. Now, this hit though, what I'm actually thinking is that when you do get this unit burst up and you be on feel on her, because I don't really think that she will snapshot, I feel like you could use a C6 Bennett with her and keep her on feel and enable this thing to trigger. And I feel like this thing might be the big hit that I was talking about. I feel like with all the buffs and stuff, this thing might hit about 80 to 100k. Her burst on a regular might do about 20 to 50k while on feel in her within the Bennett buff, within your Nahida and whatever. And yeah, to be honest, yes, she is a burn enabler, but before she releases, I just want to give my thoughts about her. I think that she's actually looking to be a fantastic unit, if I have to say. Not the best pickup for right now. I really think that if you want this unit and you like how this unit looks, because let's be honest, it really comes down to aesthetic right now in Genshin. Damage don't really play a big part. Most 5 stars have an average, low average, middle average, and then high average like Alekino and Nuvolet. If I have to say right now, I feel like she's, just looking at her kit, I feel like she's around a middle ground. But I feel like you could take a good step with her. But I think that damage will really come down to this weapon, because this weapon here, the attack increases by 15%. After the equipment character triggers burn on an enemy. Why is my mic sounding so? It's sounding weird. Burn into opponent, you get another 18%. Bro, what the frick? Is something wrong here? My bad. When you get 2 stacks here, duration, refresher, 2 stack, restore 12 energy. So I think that this is a fantastic unit. If you have the primos, I mean, I'd never really recommend anybody to go for the weapon banner, but if you want to maximize her damage, you are going to need this weapon. But will you really need it? I don't really think so. I feel like throwing something like a Staff of Former, you might waste it on her, but I feel like something like a Staff of Former might work on her, or maybe a Jade Wing Spear, or once you get the 1-to-2 ratio with any other attack base pole arm. I don't really think that you want to put Elemental Mastery, and I've been yapping. So time for me to press. I don't know what's going on with my microphone. Hopefully this thing isn't giving me trouble now. So let me know your thoughts about Emilie down below. Are you pulling for, or are you skipping for the other units in Genshin Impact in 5.0? So leave it awesome below. Hit the like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.
God gave me a retry, I'll pass it on to my left. Cause knowing that you'll never be mine is worse than being an ex. And now my soul is cursed with lies, and I've been burning, sinking in there. I mix melatonin with cough syrup to get closer to my death, and I'm tired.